What I want to make
Okay.
sure.
So what we're going to talk about today, actually,
Oh God, hold on. This isn't going to work. I can hear myself. Wasn't loving that. Okay. 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 All right. So what I'm going to talk about today is something that is going to be something that you're going to use every single month, no matter what's going on. Okay. And I want to walk you through this. All right. And so here is the mindset. And actually, I need to close this because the cicadas are going a little hog wild outside. Okay. So what I want to teach you guys how to do, and if you guys hop on a new month call, you're going to be seeing this. You already have seen this, where I'm talking about proper goal setting. Okay. It's very, very important that as someone you are two things. You are in network marketing. Okay. If you are a hairstylist, you are a hairstylist. If you are a teacher, you are a teacher. You are in network marketing. It is a genre of job. Okay. Right. That's what we do. You're in network marketing and you're a business owner. All right. That's what network marketing is. You own a business. And so you need to know how to properly set goals for your business. Okay. Now, what I will tell you is what a goal is not. All right. A goal is not how many distributors can I enroll. That is not a business goal. That is a part of figuring out your goals, but that is not your goal. That is not your main goal. Okay. So give me 1 second here. I actually am going to, I want to send this. Now, you're going to be able to use what I'm telling you many times in your business. You're going to use this every single month. And you're going to be using this when you are setting goals for the next month coming up. Okay. So what I'm going to be showing you. All right. Give me 1 second. I'm just sending myself something here so that way I have it. Now, yes, we're still having, a new month training. However, this is going to stick here. So that way, at whatever point, maybe you're a leader, as a leader, I like to be ahead of the game. As a leader, I'm always planning for my next month at the end of the previous month, or even months and months in advance. Okay. So what I want to do, you guys, and I'm saying this because I understand that you don't know how to do these things, or maybe you do know how to do them, but you've just been doing them wrong, or you've been doing them backwards. I want to teach you guys how to have these skills, and I don't want you to have to wait till a new month kickoff to kind of revise and go over them. Okay. Because I will touch on it. But anyway, so you're going to be able to use this all the time. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to go to AirPlay. All right. Now, this is what I'm going to show you. Okay. So if you guys go into the files tab of our team page, you are going to see this file right here, and I'll go over that in just a second, but this is really important, especially if you guys are in leadership. And what I mean by leader, of course, if you're a diamond and above, you guys, a diamond makes an average income of about $2,000 a month. A double makes, anywhere between $4,000 and $6,000 a month. A triple makes anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000 a month. And as it goes up, you have more people on your team that you're overseeing. You could be an executive. You could be, who's my executives? Who's my rubies? You could be an executive. If you oversee another human being to coach them and give them guidance, it is so important that you know how to set proper goals. Okay. So I'm going to make this one time. I'm going to upload it to my YouTube. It will be in our team page. You guys can revisit this every single month if you want to. You can share this with your team as they start to, enroll people. So that way, you should be teaching your new distributors how to set goals, because this isn't going to be so in depth, it doesn't need to be overwhelming. But for those of you guys who've been in this business for maybe 2-3 months and you haven't been doing it this way for a new month, every single month, It's very, very important that you learn this skill. Okay. What ends up happening a lot of the time, we hear this saying called burnt out, or I'm working so hard and I'm not getting any results. It's because you're working backwards. Okay. You are working from a place of high impact daily activity to reach a goal that you don't even know what the heck your goal is. Your goal is your high impact plan in your special needs, which is I need a certain amount of loyal customers and I want a certain amount of distributors, but there's no actual goal for growth. Okay. And that is why you might be feeling like you're doing a lot to get a little, because you're not working from a goal and then working your way up. You're doing it completely backwards. Okay. And so it's so important that you know how to properly do this. This is business. All right. So if you guys know how to make business goals every single month and use that data or that information from the month before to compare it to actually see where you're at, you're going to start to see growth in your business. You're going to start to see a change because you're working correctly. Okay. So your goal is going to be of what we get paid on, which is volume, right? So what volume growth do I want to have in my business this month? Okay. What do you want to grow to? Maybe you are a Ruby and you have about 2,000 in volume. Okay. And so this month you're like, I want to double that. Okay. So I want to go to 4,000, or maybe you're going to shoot for Emerald, which is the next rank after Ruby, right? And that would be 5,000 in volume. That is a goal. And with that goal of volume, that's going to lead to a specific need, which is how many, the number of distributors that you need, the number of specific volume that you need, right? Like how many customers. All right. Then comes this high impact plan. If you guys want to promote to a specific rank, then that means that your number one goal, if you need distributors, is always going to be distributors first. You can't fill volume in a box where there's no person there, right? You can't coach someone. You can't develop someone where there's not a distributor there. So then our high impact plan is, what do I need first? What do I need here? What do I need to do? Like, what's my game plan? And then from there, it's my daily high impact activity. If your number one thing that you need right now is distributors, so that way you can chart yourself and get yourself in a position of being able to promote, then your high impact daily plan, you guys, isn't going to be to check mark off a whole bunch of boxes of a whole bunch of random stuff. Does that make sense? Like, does it matter what you do with customers? No, because if you're what you focus on is what you're going to get. And I think too many people are dabbling. We're doing a little bit of customers, a little bit of distributors, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And you're just doing all over the place. It's like trying to paint a room. It's like me trying to paint a room, and you're doing a little bit of this wall and a little bit of that wall and a little bit of this wall. And it's going to take you forever to complete your project. But what you focus on is what you're going to get done. So let's focus. Right? So your posts should be about your story, about your life, about connecting to people, about building rapport, about, the know, the like, the trust. When you're messaging, it is with the intention of getting people into the VIP lounge. So you're bringing up the business. You have an intention. Okay. So your high impact plan is creating your intention. And then your daily activity is what you're going to physically do. What's your daily game plan? Does that make sense? So if you guys feel like you're doing a whole lot of this and not hitting a whole lot of this, it's because you're just painting random spots and just hoping that eventually it all comes together. But you could very, very easily just have a rhyme and reason for what you're doing. So does this make sense? Does this make sense why this is such a better game plan than trying to do this completely backwards? Okay. So if you guys go into the files tab of our team page, you're going to see a file that's called new month goal setting. Okay. And I know that this isn't very beautiful, but it doesn't have to be, because it just says what it needs to do. So maybe this is your first month using this. Okay. you're going to need to use this next month as well, because this is how you're going to chart growth. Okay. There's too many people who are having growth and they're spending too much time feeling sorry for themselves and feeling bad for themselves because they don't know how to properly measure their growth. We'll have people who their paycheck will increase, but they're thinking this isn't very much. And what the fear is that this growth isn't going to lead me to where I want to go. How is this going to be enough? Right? But for your growth, it's not just about where you land this month. It's about how what you do this month adds to next month, adds to the month after, to the month after, to the month after. Does that make sense? So let's say that last month, this is part 1 here. When you're looking at this, what was my last month's goal? Okay. So let's say my last month's goal was to get to 2,000 in volume. I was trying to go Ruby, and my actual goal, let's say I got to 1,949. Actually, I don't even think that that's like a thing. If you had that, you would just like reach it. So let's say that you were a brand new distributor and, actually, no, what was your last month goal? So you're 2,000. So let's say you went Ruby, but you reached 2,400 in volume. There we go. Okay. That would make more sense. So there, right here, I added a link for a percent growth calculator. It should work. Does it work? Oh crap. It's not going to work. I'm gonna have to find the website. I will find the website and I'm going to add it to you guys. But we always want to make sure, number one, that we are comparing our goals. Let's see what I wanted to do versus like what I actually hit. And let's say this was like 1,900. Okay. Let's just say it was. What's so amazing is that, that like, holy balls, I was 100 GV away from my goal. I was so freaking close. And now looking at this from a bird's eye view, I know that like I could have done it. Right. So you're going to be able to dissect this whole process. So the next thing is let's use this percent calculator to find out what percent growth you actually had, right? So from, let's say, so this is September now. So what you would do is you're kind of assessing the previous month versus what the previous month was. Meaning if this is September, I'm going to assess my growth from July to August, what ended up happening. So this is kind of a previous month review. Okay. So using the percent calculator, and I don't even know if I'm going to be able to pull it up right now because the button's not working. So I'm going to have to link it. I have a percent calculator that's actually going to calculate your growth. And the two growths, you guys, that you want to pay attention to are these two right here. Just like I was showing you when we were talking about your goal setting and your high impact activity, you cannot compare the goal of what your specific needs are or your high impact plan, which is normally going to be customers and distributors, like a specific number, because we don't need those numbers to go up. In order for me to make more money, I don't have to enroll I don't have to go from enrolling 4 to 10 to 30 to 80 to 200. That's not how I'm going to increase my paycheck. I'm going to increase my paycheck with a volume growth goal, right? Like that's how it's going to go up. And then actually comparing what my paycheck is. Okay. So this is what I love so much. So there was someone who I was talking to and her paycheck in July was $47. And then her paycheck only grew to 120. And she was like, this is stupid. This is such a waste of time. Like, what's the point of this? And I said, do you realize, let me show you how to measure your goal here. Like, let me show you how to measure your growth. She had 155% growth in business. Holy wow. Wow. I mean, that's pretty big, right? I'm trying to find that percent growth calculator website. That's a lot. That's a lot. And it makes me really sad when someone who just increased their paycheck 155% thinks that that's not very much, because I want you to see this part right here. And this is the most important thing, because what you guys are doing is you're taking your normal human walk of life. This is why you can't talk about your business to your parents or your spouse and even absorb anything that they have to say, because a normal human being does not know how to think business, and percent growth is business. Okay. Because your husband or your mom or your best friend or whoever the naysayer is in your life, right, that you're talking to about your business comes along and says, that's not a lot of money. Well, no, it's not a lot of money. It's a lot of growth, because I'm a business person and I'm focused on growth here. So the question is, where will you be in 6 months from now if you continue to have that growth? Where will you be in 6 months? I can tell you where I was. My first paycheck was $47. My second paycheck was $97. My third was like 150, something like that. And then it went to 250. And then by the time I was in this business for 5 months, it was over $2,000. In 6 months, it was a 5-figure paycheck. So that's what, I mean, like, it's about growth. It's about your growth looking like this. Well, no, from here to here, it doesn't look like very much. But when you stay on that path, well, hell yeah, man. And this could even not, maybe this isn't even 155. I don't give two craps if it's 7%. That is still growth. And from here to here, this will be more, right? So the reason why we take a minute to visualize where we will be in 6 months from now, 3 to 6 months from now, is because I don't want to waste any time feeling sorry for myself when I don't have to. Because we are raised to feel sorry for ourselves. We are raised to look for problems, to think that we suck, to think that we don't know what we're doing. And so I don't want to think like that. I don't want to think like a human being. I want to think like a network marketer, and I want to think like a business owner. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Want to make sure. All right. And Sarah, I see you're on here. Can you guys share this in the mastermind chat too, and in the VIP chat and the diamond page, make sure that people are getting on this as well. Okay. So then the next thing that I want to compare is also the volume growth. So that's just specifically paycheck. For another example, there was a girl that had, her paycheck was $3,000, and it only increased to 3,700. And she said, I'm working so hard. That sucks. It didn't even go up that much. Okay, well, that's 23% growth. That's 23% growth. So she's starting here, right? And then from here to here, 23%, it looks like $700. But from here to here, that's a big difference. Okay. So we've got to stop measuring and like judging ourselves in the wrong way. That doesn't make any sense. Like I was saying, the other thing is your volume growth. And this can be if you're brand new, if you're, no matter what point you're in, your goal every single month is to have volume growth. We get paid on volume. Volume is sales. Okay. I don't care if you have 900 distributors. If there's no volume, you're not making any money. There's got to be volume. We get paid for customers. Okay. So let's say that you were brand new and that your volume went from 200 to 1900. Okay. And Susie's volume just went from 200 to 1900, and she's feeling really sorry, for herself because she didn't reach her goal of Ruby, and she just feels like a failure. Well, Susie had 850% growth. Wow. If Susie stays on this path, and what this tells you is if your percent growth, if there's growth, if it's going up, it's visualize where I will be in 6 months from now if I keep doing this, AKA keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop here and say from one thing to another wasn't enough. Look at what it is. Look at what you have grown to. Right? And you say to yourself, holy balls, if I do keep doing this, where will I be? If I stay consistent? Because what happens is, you guys, we're not even through the whole damn sheet. What happens here is that these two numbers from one to the next, or this number from one to the next, or this number from one to the next, our brain tries to tell us that this isn't enough, and it tries to discourage us. And then we stop showing up and we stop being consistent, and we just stop doing what we need to do when we shouldn't have. We should keep doing it. So this is why I want you guys to go from a normal human being who's negative, thinking everything's wrong, thinking they can't do it, thinking they won't be successful. And I want you to put a business hat on, because business people see opportunities. Okay. So now, number one is write down 4 to 5 of your biggest wins from last month. Part business, part personal. Want to know why? Because I am Jade. Here's Jade. Okay. I've got curly hair. Okay. And here's the deal. I have got my life that's like crazy a little bit, right? And my life's been a little crazy. And then I have my business. And guess what, you guys? If my kids are good, I'm good. If my kids are sick, I'm not good, right? Our business and our life runs parallel together. So I want to know how you won in business and how you won personally. And I want you to write those things down. Okay. What we're going to do is we are going to see what happens when you start to lean into loving yourself, into gratitude, into living up and attracting positivity into your life. I spelled into wrong. Don't care. Okay. We're going to start again. Stop thinking like a normal human being who's miserable. And we're going to train our brain to look at incredible things, to see opportunity. So then the next question is, what worked well and what didn't work well last month? What did not work? So what worked well and what didn't work well? Okay. Make a list. Well, I did host a post and I started using my calendar and I used the boards app, and that worked really, really well. What didn't work well was when I stopped doing it. When I was, trying to use too many systems. I was using too many of them, and I was using too many boards. Too many. Well, why didn't that work? Because I was just not consistent. It wasn't good. I was all over the place. It works better when I'm just using one specific thing. Okay. So what are you going to take with you into this month? What are you going to take with you into September, this new month? Probably all the things that worked. Okay. What are we going to leave into last month? Meaning, what are we not going to do? This. We're not going to worry about that. I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. I'm not going to cry myself to sleep. I'm not going to make myself feel like the biggest piece of shit ever. I'm just not going to do that anymore. Okay. So what are you going to commit to carrying in from the previous month into this month? Meaning all of these things, but what are you going to commit? What else are you going to commit? Okay. So that should be absolutely the VIP Lounge Challenge. Absolutely. Every single one of you should be doing the VIP Lounge Challenge. If you want to see growth, if you want to see duplication, if you want to see your team explode, if you want to see your volume explode, if you want to start to see these numbers up top right here go up, you should be doing the VIP Lounge Challenge. That's number one. Number two, consistency. Number three, fit, which is Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Okay, cool. What are the 4 to 5 personal to professional goals for this month? Okay, so now what we're doing is we are starting to unravel this, and we're doing it from this place. What are my personal and professional goals? And I say personal too, because you guys, what did I say before? Our personal and our business run parallel together. They're like ocean waves. They run together, right? So what are our personal and professional goals? I'm going to have so many sales. I'm going to, you know what I mean? Because then that will bring in how many distributors. You got to be very specific. So if I was Susie and I ended last month at 1900 in volume, even though I didn't hit Ruby, I was this freaking close. My goal is to fill my Emerald chart which when I pull my chart out, let's say that means I need 7 DTs. And I would like to get my volume from 1900 to, let's say, 3500, right? Is that Emerald? No, you've got to have 5,000 in volume to hit Emerald. But my main focus here is going to be enrolling distributors. So my goal is you're still going to increase your paycheck because your volume is pretty much doubling, if not more. And you're going to be enrolling distributors. Distributors have fast start bonuses, etc. Okay. So then what are your high impact tasks that you're going to need to do? Again, looking at this. So we've got our goal. We know our specific needs. I need XYZ, how many customers and distributors. So what are going to be my daily, high impact tasks that I'm going to do? So my main goal is DTs. So everything is going to be life posts, business stories. I'm going to be going live. I'm going to go live and then, I'm going to go live and then also have a guest. I'm going to get 100 people per week in the VIP lounge. Badass follow-up Friday. Bass. Right? So this is breaking down then your game plan. What is your mechanical activity that you need to do physically? What do I need to do every day? Okay. Now, the other part about this is to break down your good, better, and best goals. And I want you to do this last because I feel like once you kind of go through the motions of figuring out what your main goal is, you kind of just start to see damn, I've got a pretty good plan. I might be able to do more. Okay. So it says here, your good goal is absolutely doable. Your better goal is challenging, but if you push yourself, you can do it. And your best is this crazy miracle, psychotic, I just don't even know. This is wild, right? So my good goal would be to get to 3,500 in volume, like I was saying, and to get 7 DTs, right? My better goal would be to get maybe even 10 distributors, which is more than I've ever done. And maybe just go Emerald. That's, if I pushed hard, I could do it. If I pushed hard, if I got these 10 distributors in my first week or two, and I pushed hard, we could do this. My best goal, damn, Daniel, what if I got 15 DTs, way more than I've ever done in my whole life, ever. And what if I get 6,000 in volume? Holy balls. So just from doing this, you guys, you start to stretch your imagination and understand and realize that maybe this is really, really safe. And you start to expand your brain and that, God, maybe my better goal should be my goal. I was playing catch with Levi and I was I'm not a professional baseball player, in case you guys don't know this. I'm just not. And I was playing baseball with Levi. We were outside and he was trying to tell me to throw the ball to him. And he was like really far away. And I was like, I can't throw this far. Like I just had enough to throw it to him. And then he ran really far, like way far back. And Levi's like, you can do it, Mom. You can do it. You can do it, Brucey. And so I took the ball and I looked at him and I like took my arm and I chucked it and I freaking got it so far. Why? Why did I get it far? Because my point of contact was here. I just was looking right at it. Just look right at it and I hit it. Well, wherever you look, you're going to hit. Wherever you look, you're going to hit. If you only focus on here, you will only hit here or less. That's when they say like, shoot for the moon. And if not, you'll land amongst the stars. Like shoot for more. If not, you'll, but if I shoot for here, and let's say I don't hit there, and all I do is here. Most people, normal people, would do what we were talking about here. And they would be like, I'm such a piece of crap. I didn't hit my goal. I'm so sad. But what did you do? Because had you only paid attention to this comfortable goal right here, had you only paid attention to that, you would have hit this or less, but you actually hit more. I want you guys to get used to setting wild goals. If you want to grow, if you want to have more than you ever imagined that you can have, you have to set crazy goals. Will you hit them? It's possible, maybe not. I don't care. You will go wildly further than you've ever gone in your whole life. I'm drinking turmeric. It's called mud water. I'm drinking mud water in my coffee. So if my tongue's like yellowy, that's why. So you guys don't think that I'm disgusting. Okay. All right. So you have to. Some of you guys aren't growing because you're working backwards and you're working upside down. You're not working from the right thing. And not only that, it's why you're burnt out and stressed out. It's just because you've got your goals backwards. And then the other part of it is just what your goal is. You might do this last part, break down your goal. And you might be like, I think I need to revisit. Anytime I have shot for the moon, I didn't reach my goal, but I landed wildly farther than I ever thought I could. And I did feel bad. I did feel like a piece of crap and I did judge myself. And I wish I would have known these things because I would have spent more time being proud of myself. And that proudness, that holy cow, I'm like knowing and understanding that it actually is good. That's going to be the piece that encourages you to keep going. Not knowing how to do that is what makes people quit. That's why people who are super successful, this is why you see people who have done incredible things quit. It's not because there's anything wrong with the business model or any of those things. It's because they don't know how to compare like their results, their expectations versus reality. Expectations, I wanted to go Ruby and have 2,000 in volume. Reality is I only had 1,900. Now I feel like a big piece of shit and a failure. So what's the point of this? But you had 850% growth. But Susie doesn't know how to think like a business owner. That's why we have to grow like this. Now, the last part of this worksheet is if you have a team, and I'll just kind of go through it really quick. It's on the last page. It's all written out. Number one, the first thing that you're going to do is figure out your own personal goals and get clear. Okay. Number two, you're going to hand this whole sheet file to your team so that way they can measure their last goals. So you're not doing it for them. You're teaching your team how to fish. If you died tomorrow, if they went to a deserted island, you want to equip your team to be able to build this business with or without you. They don't need you. Okay. Go through their goals with them. As a leader, you will see that sometimes people do not even know what they are fully capable of. Depending on what is in the works for your own personal goals, it might adjust your team's goals as well as you co-create your businesses together. So a good time to do that is when you're going over the good, better, best goals. And you might be like, dude, because I think most of you guys should be shooting for like, there's, like the better, like, I'm telling you, like, what if that became your goal? Even if you don't hit it, you're still going to go further than had you just done the comfort goal, right? Number 4, help them get clear on what's needed to achieve those goals. Sometimes they might not be perfectly clear on what's needed. So that's like their high impact daily tasks, knowing, okay, you're going to want to go live. You're going to want to make Facebook and, TikToks and reels and kind of what that looks like. Create weekly check-in points to meet and go over what's happening. Are they holding themselves accountable? Have them tell you what their activity is like. So maybe once a week on Mondays, you're meeting with your distributors and you're just going like, okay, how are things going? What's going on? They're just kind of telling you if it's going good, great. You encourage them. Super exciting. If it's not going good, let's oversee things. And maybe they just don't know how to see the good, or help them tweak and adjust and pivot when needed. Number 6, celebrate big. Make sure your team is accomplishing their goals, every stepping stone that is taking them on the path that needs to be, it needs to be shouted big. So you really need to make sure you give recognition. And number 7, believe in your own dream. So you as a leader, you are the tip of the spear. You ultimately control the path and the pace. Do not underestimate the power of consistency and what you are capable of. And this all goes back to what I was just telling you. If this is your good goal, and this is your better goal, and this is your best goal, okay? This isn't just about your goals. If this is what I would have initially gone for, and instead I grow some balls and I shoot for this, in order for me to go here from here to here, I have to bring my team with me. So even if I only land here in the middle, that's so much further than where I would have gotten to. You're going to bring a whole lot of people to that place as well. So it's not just about me going emerald. It's about 2 people on my team going ruby. It's 2 people on my team going executive. There's a whole lot of people who are going to be doing wildly more than they ever thought that they could. So do you see what I'm saying? Like, it just changes the whole thing. So anyways, you guys, that is it. This is a goal setting sheet. Use this every single month. Revisit this video every single month if you need to. That's fine, because in 1 year's time, you're only going to hear this 12 times, right? So that's it. All right, guys, I love you so much. I'm so proud of you. I can't wait to talk to you soon, and print this out, files tab of the team page. All right, guys.